Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Don't give up on your dreams. This card was laying on the floor the other day, and I don't know how I got there. I don't know if you guys can see it. The Two of Pentacles. And I've always had I never really understood this card. It's the juggler, and if you look, he's holding two pentacles, and they're connected by a infinity symbol, right? They're wound around each other. This has to do with the internal state being expressed in the external, but the external is actually a part of you, right? It's the world around you. Um, Conflicts internally will express themselves externally, right? Um, this is the individual, expressing whatever kind of love or lack of love they have for their environment, and it's actually all just love. Um, and we see it in an ascending scale. I just watched a really powerful video by Alan Watts, and it's completely true. Um, the danger of not wanting anymore, right? Becomes so detached because you've gone through so many failures in life, and you feel like they're failures, and the things that you wanted or your desires were not met. And if you walk away from your desires and just become a desireless thing, then um, there's no life in you anymore, right? You just, as he put it, you just sit in a cave until you die, right? You might as well be a rock instead of a blooming flower. Life wants to express itself in its creative form. And so at the heart of it, all of us want to express love and receive love. And a lot of times when we don't receive the love that we're expressing, it hurts, right? And so it can fall into non-attachment and then detachment if it gets self-destructive. There's also you can't control life, right? You can only water it. So if you're trying to control anything out there and then you have an attachment to the outcome, then a lot of times and you're disappointed, then, you know, if those continued attempts if you fall into detachment and stop feeling your emotions, then dangerous state to be in. I can resonate with this pretty profoundly because I was in such a toxic environment of uh, conflict when I was growing up that I just grew into detachment, and I never expressed my love for the people around me as much as I should have, or not as much as I should have. It's just the environment that I grew up in, right there. The love wasn't expressed, and that's something that I personally have had to really reflect on. Express your love for one another, and something that I've had a hard time doing for a long time. The so what does that mean for you, right? How are you expressing your love for the world around you? And when you don't, sometimes you're receiving it in a way that uh, can feel a little bit conflicted, right? Because everybody's at a different stage of growth. Everybody's loving in their own way, and uh, just accept whatever is coming towards you because it's uh, it's exactly what you probably need to receive in order to understand, what you're trying to accomplish. And this is why, that communities that are self-sufficient and that are loving one another and working together are much healthier than ones where we create differences in potential for what our potential is, because all of our potential is infinite. My goals and what I am trying to create is something that I would love to see and experience everybody's creations and receive it in a very easy, balanced way, because that's how that's how we grow. right? And actually, that's actually what you'll experience if you can do that, expressing your love, and then you'll receive the same thing. The universe, the world is a mirror. And so it's, I'm going to pull a couple cards just around that, just to maybe get a picture of where we're at energetically, right? Take what resonates and leave the rest behind. It's lovers, right? Of course, the lovers comes out, right? The parts of yourself that balancing the masculine and feminine aspects, right? The giving and receiving of love, and being able to do that. Tower might bring a tower moment when you receive love and you don't realize that maybe you deserved it. Right? Sometimes this is, these are fond memories of the past, and it could be um, just a simple picture of somebody giving somebody their flowers, saying that I love you, without any attachment to what you get back. Such a beautiful card, right? When somebody just reaches out and says that I love you. The Emperor. When we pour love into things that don't have any capability to love us back, it's that's why we feel empty, right? When you're pouring your love into money and material things, um, there's nothing wrong with the things themselves that we're creating together. But if we're creating out of a negative form of attachment, it just shows a certain level of growth within the organism, right? It's still trying to understand itself. It's still trying to understand that's what life is about. It's just that our creative and receptive potential. This is the truth. And don't get hard on yourself for your ability not to show love for the people around you, because we all grow up in different environments, and we're shown love in a lot of different ways, and then the way that we grow up has a distinct feeling on what we receive. Don't be afraid to show someone that you care, especially when they ask. It's like, they just want to eat. And maybe, at the time in the world we live in, maybe money is the best way that you can show support. And then you're balancing, that internal state where you're in the lover's position. Slow moving energy. It's a process, right? We all go through a process of understanding ourselves and the dark aspects of ourselves, right? And then, you want to create barriers, because when people are prioritizing the things that don't return love, then, yeah. And then the king provides the right support for the world. Wow, we've got a lot of major arcana here. Tower, lovers, tower. King of Pentacles, the Emperor, Ace of Swords, the Lovers. One more card. Three of Wands. So there's two wands standing behind him, right? He has intent, and there's two wands that maybe he can't see, but there's help. That means that there's help available for guiding where you want to go. And Hierophant. These are spiritual truths that are age old, right? We create communities that have a certain level of health within them, depending on how well the love is being given and received within that community. I did a video a while back about Edinburgh, the Seven Seas, and that on that island in the middle of the Atlantic, and those people that had to leave the island for a short amount of time in 1961 because the volcano was going off. And then when they came back, most of them decided they wanted to come back because they went to England, and that part at that time, during that industrial age, there was a lot of people pouring their energy and then people being used for their creative energy to support other people's things and their desire for external wealth. Wouldn't you want to go back to a community where everybody was providing and serving one another and then creating together, even if the power to create was less, it was more balanced and it had more to do with, you know, giving and receiving love to one another, right? Everybody's different. And uh, I'm sure those people, after a couple of years in a place, felt really disjointed to them, even though they went to a small island where there was a lot less available. It probably felt a lot better for them. I mean, when you really think about that from a psychological aspect, I mean, why choose isolation over an entire world to explore when when you experience the rest of the world for 2 years and just decide, uh-uh, no, we had it better. Let's go back. And there were a small number of them that stayed, but most of them were younger and they wanted to learn, what the world had to offer. Very brave thing to do, right? Because you have to, not coming from a point of understanding that the only thing that we ever really wanted was to love and be loved and create and receive together. Because if we're not creating something that's unique to us, then yeah. Love you guys. I don't think there's anything else I need to say here. A lot of major arcana out here, and it's a tower moment. Sometimes it's a lot of times when you watch readers on YouTube, you see there's a lot of perspectives that are tied to the reader themselves and the way that everything is a belief system. This whole world is a series of belief systems. People really fall down a lot, and he attracts a lot of viewers because uh, he's learned his own self-expression and how to help people in the right way. Because um, you want to make sure that you're encouraging people to grow and create for whatever it is that they want to create for themselves, whether it's music, art. And, when we live in a world that's too concerned about just getting the dollar so that you can, you know, create a sense of freedom, that's not really the truth, right? Our sense of freedom is created by our ability to express ourselves and express our love for one another, receive love. And then that's tied to the things that we do, our poetry, our art, our music, all the beautiful things that we love to experience in life and letting all the other stuff go. So, love you guys. Have a beautiful day, and I'll catch you on the next.